Hi, my tubies and my Teletubbies and my sister soldiers out there. Today, we're going to talk about stop worrying about the new supply. I don't want you to think for one moment that your ex narc is so much happier with the other person. Me, for myself, I know for a fact that my ex narc, his life is not better without me in it. I know that because I hear it all the time from people that I run into and from around the way. I have seen also so many videos on how the new supply is only being used to abuse you for escaping the relationship. Nothing will ever be good enough for these demonic demons. You can go above and beyond to please these people, in which I'm sure you have. You and I both know that we have given it our best shot, and nothing was ever good enough. So while you on the outside looking in and thinking that their life is so much better, you have to remember that these demons, they're trying to get people to believe in their illusions. Their whole life is an illusion, if you want my view. But anyway, narcissists, they have no emotional connections. They don't have any loyalty to anyone, not to family, friends, or even children. They can never be happy. Everything is just temporary for them. They move on to the next so quickly because they are never invested in anyone. Everything they do is calculated. So, yes, of course, their future relationships, it only happens to punish the previous relationship they have. It's always to try to punish the previous one. You know, I have one of my friends from my women's group. She thought that her ex narc was so happy with his new supply, but she later on found out that he was miserable because his new supply, she was a raging alcoholic with a violent temper, and she kept getting arrested and almost got him arrested a couple of times. He said that he was only living with her, he's still with her because this is to help him pay the rent. He's only with her to help get his rent paid. So neither one of them are really happy. And I know of another incident where the narc cheated on the good woman, you know, the empath, and the one that he cheated on her with, she ended up killing him. She ended up killing him, and he's in jail. She's in jail now. You see? And this just happened 2 months ago. So while he's with the new supply, you can trust and believe that he's feeding her crumbs to string her along because he's grooming her to accept these crumbs and scraps. But my ex narc, he knew he couldn't do that with me because I wasn't accepting it. Why do you think he kept one of the reasons he kept getting kicked out? Because, like I said, I'm not going to sit up here and take care of no goddamn man. He's supposed to be the primary breadwinner. And all of this garbage talking about where you work, so what? I follow the Bible's arrangement. And there's nowhere in the Bible when you have women who are working where they're sitting up here taking care of some goddamn man. And I wasn't doing it. And henceforth, he got kicked out. Why? Because I kept telling him I could show you better than I can tell you. I'm going to show you how much cheaper it is for you to be a team player in this household than it is outside. And when I kicked him out and he saw how much cheaper it was for him to treat me the way God said he's supposed to anyway, regardless of whether I was working. So when it came to him trying to like control me, that's one of the things that I'm sure he's upset about. He could never control me ever, ever, ever. And I wasn't going to sit up here and accept no crumbs and no scraps. And he always knew. He wanted to offer me something to say, yo, baby, can I take? No, I don't do crumbs. You're not going to give me crumbs. When I know you could sit up here and spend hundreds of thousands on prostitutes and $150 for 8 balls, and you think you're going to throw me a crumb? That's not happening, son. Not here. So again, his bags were packed, and his stuff is sitting out next to, well, not on the curb, not on the curb, outside the door. Or his sister had to come and pick up his stuff because I'm not going for this. I'm not. I work too hard for me to sit here and settle for crumbs and scraps, especially when you're dealing with somebody who have not one disability but two, and you want to try to sit up here and sell me short with all the work that's involved in you. No, your bags will be packed. So now, while he's sitting up here trying to get you to accept these scraps and these crumbs, while he's doing this, he's thinking about how he lost control over you. So trust me, even though he has this new supply, he's still thinking about how he lost control over you and how he don't plan on doing it again with this new supply that he has. So trust and believe, even though he's with this new supply, he is thinking about you, sweetheart. He's remembering what he had and what he lost. Now, when he feels he can control you and get you to accept crumbs, that's what would make him feel superior. So I guess my narc was always feeling inferior, and he was. You can see it. You can see it by the way he conducted himself, by the way he kept blowing up and getting angry, because he would never feel superior in this household, especially not around my people. He could never feel superior, ever. So believe me, if you were a grade A supply, even while he's with the new supply, he's thinking of you, wondering if you are treating another man with the same grade A supply that you used to give him. He's thinking about how much better he was when he was with you. He's looking at that stupid dummy that he's sitting next to, the mental. Oh, God. He's thinking about this stupid new supply, and he's wishing he can get back the control that he had over you, which mine's never had control, not in my household, because he was not bright enough. In order to, you have to be qualified. You want to take charge, you want to be a leader, you want to whatever, you have got to be qualified. Now, I was a submissive wife, absolutely. But when I know what the Bible says about being wise. The Bible says to be wise. It says to be submissive to your husband, and that is true, unless what he's asking you to do is going contrary to the Bible. And it's going contrary to the Bible when you're not being wise. So if he's not making wise decisions, I wasn't doing it. So, now, getting back on that, now he knows that the dummy that he's with now, she ain't going nowhere. He already knows that. So he's trying to figure out a way that he can get you back into his clutches so he could try to have his cake and try to eat it too, which of course, sister soldiers and my beautiful empaths, I think we're smarter than that. We've been through so much. We have survived so much. So I'm hoping, and I do believe, that we are smarter than that. So stop worrying about the new supply. There's no need for it, sweetheart. And you have got to remember that narcissists, they don't change. It's beyond their capability. They are merely masters of disguise and illusionists. So when you know that, you shouldn't have to sit here wondering, and worrying about his new supply. Is she better than me? Has he changed? Is he doing better for her? No, he's not. A narcissist is a narcissist. So don't you think for one moment that he's happier with the other person. Trust and believe. Sheila True Love, loving you, and never sweat the small stuff, please. Uh, Always choose wisely because you always have a choice. Please make wise decisions. Like the Bible says, be wise, my child, because that's what makes God's heart rejoice, by being wise. And it's not wise to sit around here having you worry about what's going on with his new dummy or his new stupid idiot. You don't need to do that, guys. So this is Sheila True Love, loving you. Until next time, choose wisely. Don't forget. Bye for now.